Have you ever found yourself surrounded by people yet feeling strangely alone? For empaths, this is a familiar experience. They can sense the emotions of others so deeply that crowded rooms can feel overwhelming, almost isolating. This video is for anyone who recognizes that quiet sense of being different and wonders why they seem to notice things others might miss. Let's take a closer look at what makes the empath experience so unique. Sometimes, having an empty social calendar isn't a sign of loneliness or sadness. Instead, it can reflect a simple, honest recognition that meaningful connections are rare or currently absent. Not everyone feels the need to fill their days with gatherings or group activities. For some, this quiet space is a comfortable acknowledgement that they just don't click with everyone. And that's perfectly okay. After all, genuine connection can't be scheduled or forced. Many people believe that having only a few friends means something is wrong, or that it signals social failure. But that's simply not the case. Quality often matters more than quantity when it comes to friendships. Some stick figures prefer a small, close-knit group, while others enjoy a bustling crowd. What really counts is the connection and support you share, not the number of people in your circle. Empaths are a unique bunch, wired to feel the emotions of others as if they were their own. This rare trait means they often navigate social situations with heightened sensitivity, picking up on subtle cues that most people might miss. While this can make them excellent listeners and friends, it also means they can easily become overwhelmed in crowded or emotionally charged environments. Their experience of social life is like tuning into a radio station that broadcasts everyone's feelings, sometimes all at once. Understanding this psychological profile helps explain why empaths often need extra downtime to recharge their emotional batteries. Empaths have a special knack for picking up on the feelings of those around them, almost like emotional antennas. They often sense unspoken needs and subtle shifts in mood, even when nothing is said out loud. This heightened sensitivity can make social situations feel like a whirlwind of emotions, leaving empaths feeling drained after interacting with others. It's as if they're carrying not just their own feelings, but everyone else's too. No wonder a quiet moment alone can feel like a much-needed recharge. Having a small social circle doesn't mean you've failed at making friends. For many empaths, it's simply a sign of high standards for authentic connection. Instead of collecting acquaintances, you focus on building meaningful relationships with people who truly understand and appreciate you. Think of your circle as a carefully curated group, where quality always wins over quantity. In the end, genuine bonds are far more rewarding than a crowded room full of strangers. Have you ever found yourself acting a little differently just to fit in with a group? Sometimes, we adjust our words or hide parts of ourselves, hoping to be accepted. But after the laughter and conversations fade, a quiet loneliness can settle in. It's as if, despite being surrounded by people, we're left wondering if anyone truly knows the real us. This feeling is common when friendships become more about performance than genuine connection. Sometimes, taking a step back from the crowd can help us see things more clearly. This is called discernment, choosing solitude to reflect, recharge, or make thoughtful decisions. On the other hand, isolation happens when we withdraw because we're afraid or overwhelmed, hoping to avoid challenges. While both involve being alone, discernment is about seeking clarity, whereas isolation is driven by fear. Recognizing the difference helps us make healthier choices for our well-being. Empaths often find themselves absorbing the emotions of those around them, like sponges soaking up every drop. This constant emotional labor can be surprisingly exhausting, even during everyday conversations. Because they feel so deeply, empaths may choose their social interactions carefully, seeking out environments where they can recharge. Over time, these choices help them protect their own well-being while still supporting others. It's a delicate balancing act, one that shapes not just their relationships, but their entire approach to the world. There comes a moment when empaths realize something surprising. Being surrounded by people doesn't always make loneliness disappear. Instead, they might notice that even in a crowded room, a sense of isolation can quietly linger. This shift in understanding can feel like a light bulb turning on, revealing that connection isn't just about physical presence. It's about feeling truly seen and understood. For empaths, this realization often sparks a search for deeper, more meaningful interactions. Imagine walking into a room where every corner is brightly lit and nothing escapes your attention. For an empath, social situations can feel just like this. Every gesture, tone, and unspoken feeling stands out in sharp detail. While others might notice only the obvious, the empath picks up on subtle shifts and hidden emotions. This heightened perception can be both fascinating and overwhelming, as it means constantly processing a flood of social information. Empaths often spend a lot of energy tuning into the feelings and needs of those around them. This constant emotional work can be surprisingly tiring, a bit like carrying an invisible backpack filled with everyone else's worries. Over time, this can lead to emotional exhaustion, making it harder for empaths to recharge. Even simple interactions might start to feel overwhelming, as their own feelings get mixed up with those of others. It's important for empaths to recognize these signs and find ways to care for themselves too. Empaths have a remarkable ability to offer their full attention, making others feel truly seen and heard. Their presence is so genuine that even strangers often feel comfortable sharing personal stories or emotions. However, this deep level of attention is rarely reciprocated, leaving empaths feeling like they're always the listener, seldom the one listened to. It's a unique gift, but it can sometimes feel a bit lonely on the receiving end. Sometimes in relationships, we find ourselves giving thoughtful attention, while only receiving quick or shallow replies in return. This kind of imbalance can feel a bit like sending a heartfelt letter and getting a sticky note back. Over time, these mismatches can leave us feeling unappreciated or disconnected. When the effort isn't mutual, it's natural to reconsider which connections truly deserve our energy. Letting go of one-sided relationships can make room for more balanced and fulfilling bonds. It's a common misconception that empaths are closed off or hard to approach. In reality, many empaths simply need time to process their feelings and the emotions of those around them. When others misinterpret this as being distant, it can lead empaths to question themselves or feel misunderstood. These judgments can shape how empaths see their own personalities, sometimes making them doubt their openness or kindness. Understanding the true nature of empathy helps everyone appreciate the quiet strength empaths bring to their relationships. Empaths are known for their remarkable ability to connect with others, often putting themselves in someone else's shoes with ease. Over the years, they've spent a lot of energy meeting people where they are, listening deeply and offering support. This generosity, however, can come at a personal cost, leaving empaths feeling drained or overlooked. As a result, they tend to keep their circle of friends small, valuing quality over quantity. Their wisdom is hard-won, shaped by experience and a deep understanding of themselves and others. Sometimes, holding on to relationships that don't quite fit can feel like wearing shoes that are just a bit too small. When you finally let go, there's a surprising sense of relief, as if you can breathe a little easier. In that space, self-awareness grows, helping you understand what you truly need and value. It's like clearing away clutter to find a favorite book you forgot you had. Letting go isn't always easy, but the clarity that follows can be both freeing and enlightening. Being alone and feeling lonely are not the same thing. Solitude can be a peaceful, restorative experience, especially for empaths who absorb the emotions of those around them. Taking time alone allows empaths to recharge, reflect, and regain their emotional balance. In contrast, loneliness is the ache that comes from feeling isolated or disconnected, even if others are nearby. Understanding this difference helps empaths embrace solitude as a healthy and necessary part of self-care. For empaths, quality always outweighs quantity when it comes to relationships. One deep, authentic connection can provide true understanding and comfort, while a crowd of surface-level acquaintances often leaves them feeling drained. Genuine bonds allow empaths to be themselves, share openly, and recharge emotionally. In contrast, shallow interactions can feel like trying to have a meaningful chat with a stick figure in a busy crowd. Lots of noise, but not much heart. That's why empaths cherish depth over numbers, savoring the rare connections that really matter. Have you ever noticed how empaths seem to understand everyone around them, picking up on feelings and thoughts with almost magical accuracy? Yet, despite this remarkable ability, empaths often find themselves feeling invisible or misunderstood. It's a curious gap. While they know others deeply, Their own inner worlds remain largely unexplored by those around them. Why is it that the people who listen the most are so rarely truly heard themselves? Let's take a closer look at this intriguing paradox. Not all connections are created equal. Horizontal connections are like friendly waves across a crowded room, pleasant but mostly surface level. Vertical connections, on the other hand, go much deeper, reaching into our thoughts and feelings. Empaths often crave these vertical bonds, seeking genuine understanding and emotional resonance. While both types have their place, it's the vertical connections that truly nourish the empath's soul. In many social situations, people tend to stick to familiar scripts and keep conversations light. Groups often value quick connections and shared jokes, rather than diving into deeper topics. For empaths, who naturally seek meaningful exchanges, this can feel a bit unsatisfying. They might find themselves longing for genuine understanding, while everyone else seems content to skim the surface. It's a bit like being at a pool party where everyone's splashing in the shallow end, but you're hoping for a swim in deeper waters. Sometimes, conversations feel like they hit an invisible wall. These are the subtle cues, like a shift in tone or a quick change of subject, that signal when someone isn't ready to go deeper. Empaths are especially good at picking up on these signals, often sensing when it's time to step back and respect boundaries. They might respond with a gentle nod or a reassuring smile, adapting their approach to keep things comfortable. It's a bit like reading a map with hidden lines, always adjusting course to avoid crossing into off-limits territory. Empaths have a unique way of understanding others. They observe and sense, rather than judge or rank. Instead of labeling people as better or worse, they quietly notice who is open to deeper conversations and who prefers to keep things light. This gentle sorting helps empaths decide how much of themselves to share without making anyone feel less valued. It's less about putting people in boxes and more about finding the right fit for meaningful connection. Sometimes, keeping up with endless social connections can feel like running on a treadmill that never stops. Each interaction might look friendly on the surface, but inside it can feel forced and exhausting. Over time, pretending to be connected without truly feeling it takes a toll, leaving you drained. Eventually, you might decide to step off the treadmill, choosing rest and authenticity over constant performance. It's a relief to realize that it's okay to pause and just be yourself. Sometimes, stepping back from a busy social life brings a surprising sense of calm. By narrowing your circle to just a few who truly understand you, the noise fades and a gentle quiet settles in. This smaller group creates space for deeper conversations and genuine connection. It's like finding a peaceful corner in a crowded room where you can finally breathe and just be yourself. Solitude offers empaths a valuable chance to step away from the constant buzz of social interactions. In these quiet moments, they can tune out the expectations of others and finally hear their own thoughts and feelings. It's like turning down the volume on the outside world, so their true inner voice becomes clear again. This time alone helps them shed the social mask and reconnect with who they really are. For empaths, solitude isn't just peaceful, it's essential for staying grounded and authentic. Sometimes, being alone can feel a little strange, as if it's something to avoid. But in reality, spending time with yourself is not a lesser choice. It's a valuable opportunity. When you're alone, you can listen to your own thoughts, reflect on your feelings, and discover what truly matters to you. It's in these quiet moments that some of the most important self-discoveries take place. So, giving yourself permission to be alone is actually a gift, not a punishment. Sometimes, life feels like a busy room full of chatter, where it's hard to tell what's important and what's just noise. Choosing to focus on genuine connection means tuning out the distractions and really listening to what matters. It's not about having the most friends or the loudest voice, but about finding clarity within yourself. By prioritizing quality over quantity, you create space for real understanding and meaningful relationships. In the end, it's the clear signals that help us truly connect and grow. Sometimes, choosing deeper connections means trading busy weekends for quieter ones. There might be moments when things feel a little empty or silent, especially compared to a packed social calendar. But in those quieter spaces, something valuable grows. Genuine, meaningful relationships. These bonds bring a richness that can't be measured by the number of events attended, but by the quality of the moments shared. It's a gentle reminder that depth often comes with its own unique rewards. Sometimes, it feels like the world is keeping score by counting likes, followers, or friends. But real connection isn't about big numbers. It's about meaningful moments and genuine bonds. Imagine a stickman with just a few friends, but each one brings laughter and support. That's the kind of quality that truly nourishes us, even if it doesn't look impressive on a chart. Maybe it's time to celebrate the connections that matter instead of just counting them. Quiet strength is a special kind of resilience that grows from within. It's not about being the loudest in the room or impressing others with flashy words. Instead, it's built through honesty with ourselves, exploring our true feelings, and finding comfort in solitude. This inner strength doesn't need an audience. It shines through steady actions and a calm presence. Sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who simply stay true to themselves, even when no one is watching. It takes a special kind of courage to simply sit with yourself, especially for empaths. Instead of running from their feelings or seeking distractions, they bravely turn inward and face whatever thoughts or emotions arise. This quiet bravery isn't about grand gestures, but about being honest and gentle with themselves. By doing so, they build resilience and a deeper understanding of who they are, all while sitting still. Many people look to others for approval, using external validation as a way to measure their own worth. This habit is known as social outsourcing, where self-esteem depends on the opinions and reactions of friends, family, or even strangers. While a compliment can feel great, relying too much on outside feedback can make us vulnerable to criticism and rejection. Over time, this can lead to anxiety and a shaky sense of identity. Building confidence from within helps protect us from the ups and downs of social approval. For the empath, true strength begins within. By tuning into their own thoughts and feelings, they create a solid foundation that helps them navigate the world with confidence. This internal stability acts like an anchor, keeping them steady even when emotions run high around them. Through self-reflection and gentle curiosity, the empath learns to trust their inner wisdom, turning their relationship with themselves into a reliable source of support and insight. True wealth isn't always measured in coins or popularity, but in how well we understand ourselves. When we take time to explore our thoughts, feelings, and motivations, we gain insights that no one else can give us. This kind of self-knowledge helps us make choices that fit who we really are, not just what others expect. Even if we're not the most popular stick figure in the crowd, knowing ourselves brings a sense of confidence and contentment that's hard to beat. Before we focus on friendships with others, it's important to remember the most crucial relationship of all, the one we have with ourselves. Taking care of our own thoughts and feelings lays the groundwork for every other connection we make. When we understand and appreciate who we are, it becomes much easier to build healthy, happy friendships. So, think of your relationship with yourself as the sturdy stick that helps all the other sticks stand tall.